I'm Esther from Eldernet. I'm here today because we have got some awesome meals from my food bag, who have gladly given us some of the meals for us to try out. So I'm going to give them a wee test in the Eldernet kitchen this week. We'll show you some prep stuff as well as the results of the finished meals. Just a few tips before we start today. I didn't have runny honey, so I've just got my normal honey, and I'm going to nuke it very, very quickly in the microwave. You've got to be careful though, because it gets real hot real quick. So I'm going to turn that into runny honey. Also, my rice, they've given us some wild rice here. I'm actually going to wash that beforehand because I don't like sticky rice. So I'm just going to wash it until all the liquid coming off is clear. I've got my water boiling, I've boiled my jug, I've prepped my veggies. So keep watching and you'll be able to see what this looks like as we go through. See you shortly. Great. Okay, so we're going to make the tahini dressing. Now, for those of you who are a bit nervous about tahini, don't worry, it's actually just crushed up sesame seeds. There's nothing exciting about it except its name. So, it is asking for 1 tablespoon of tahini paste. Now, the great thing about the My Food Bag recipes is that everything that you probably don't have in your cupboard comes like this. So, we're going to add our tablespoon of tahini paste. And to that we are going to add a clove of garlic, which I've already chopped and is in there, a tablespoon of water. Now you'll hear that I've got my rice on over here. Just going to turn that down a little. Water. Careful, careful. Oh, wrong bowl, this one. 1/4 of a teaspoon of soy sauce, which most people hopefully will have in their pantries. Our soy going in, and we need some runny honey. Now, I put my honey in the microwave for about 15 seconds to make it runny, and it is perfect. So we're going to stick that straight in there, and then we need 1/4 teaspoon of vinegar. So I'm going to use some cider vinegar because everybody's got cider vinegar in their pantry, I figure, especially if you're a little bit old school. My grandma always used to give me honey and cider drinks, so I'm sure you've all got some of that as well. So here's our cider vinegar. It's asked for 1/4 teaspoon, so that's really just a tiny wee bit. And now we have this lovely looking creation here. We're going to give it a whiz around, season it with salt and pepper, and we'll get back to you and tell you how it tastes. So that's the tahini dressing. Delicious. Don't worry, it's going back in the sink. Let's do the veggies. I've got the jug boiled already. So all it's asking for us to do is to put our broccoli, which we've cut into florets, in here with our green beans. And it wants a little bit of salt. I love that Nadia and the team love salt. I love salt too. And then we are just going to cover it with some boiling water. So everything in there is covered now. Chuck. Just a good old standard plate on top and leave that to the side. And that will start cooking our veggies. So we're just going to leave them in there for 5 minutes. Back soon with some more. Okay, time to look at our protein for the meal. In the, what do they call this thing? Chill box. We've got this wonderful packet here. Look at this Mount Cook Alpine Salmon. Wowzers, fantastic. So delish. So we're just going to open up the packet. And it just tells us to pat it dry, but also to check that there's no bones. So I'm going to do that now. Get this piece of meat ready. It looks like they're beautiful. They've taken out all the bones for me already. Look at this beautiful chunk of New Zealand meat. We are going to cook that shortly and see if we can bring the whole thing together. Okay, we're back. So in the time that you've been gone, or the time that we turned that off, I've put my pan on hot and I've got my veggies cooking, as you saw. So I'm just going to take the lid off the veggies, which wasn't a lid, it was just a plate, and drain those. Now I'm also going to add the courgettes, which I did real fancy, but actually you just use a grater, so there's nothing fancy really, into there as well. Put the lid on just to warm them through. And if you come with me, we have got our frying pan here. We're just going to add a little bit of oil. And because we've left the skin on, we're going to get our salmon and stick it with the skin down, because that gives it a nice crunchy thing. So come back in about 6 minutes and Everything will be nearly cooked, and then we'll have to start plating, which is where I really am not so good. So, okay, we are about 3 or 4 minutes in. Here's our salmon. You can see it's sort of halfway pink up the sides. We're going to give it a flick. Oh yeah, beautiful. Going to leave that to keep cooking. Our rice is finishing steaming, but what I'm going to do is finish off the veggies. So we need to add just a few more bits and pieces. We're going to add a teaspoon of sesame seeds. Now these are mixed ones and they look so beautiful because they're like half black, half white. They're so good. So 1 teaspoon of that, sprinkle in, fabulous. Also got a tablespoon of coriander leaves, which I plucked earlier, because you know, quite organised. And then we're going to put basically the thing that dresses it, which is the sesame oil. This is it here. Love this stuff. Now remember with sesame oil you only need a little for like a whole heap of flavour. So we'll just drizzle it over the top. And we're just going to toss that gently to combine. So our veggies are basically ready. Our salmon is just finishing off, and so is our rice. Oh my goodness, this smells so amazing. So as you can see, look how vibrant, super, super colourful. Hopefully anyone with any appetite will be happy to get into that. So when you come back, I'm going to try plating up. Please just bear with me. Hopefully when I'm finished, it'll look like this. Okay, so I've just checked the rice and it's a miracle. I've actually managed to cook rice in a pot. I have a confession at home. I use a rice cooker. So this is a mix of rice. As you can see, it's wild rice and white rice. Now, just because I like to pretend I'm fancy, I'm going to plate it up a little bit nice. So this is a trick that I use to make my kids eat their rice at home. Just stick your rice into any kind of container, invert it onto a plate, and oh, what do you know, fancy. So I'm going to put some veggies on too. Now I've just had my salmon resting in the pan. Now, can I just say, I've just put half of those veggies out and there's still a load left. So this is obviously, if you're not a big eater, this meal is going to work well because I reckon you could feed 2 people. Here is my beautiful salmon. I have a crispy skin. Oh, can I get it out? I haven't got very good tongs here today, so next time in the Eldernet kitchen I'll get better tongs. Use our fork there. Put that on there. We have our tahini dressing that we made earlier, which looks and smells absolutely divine. Put a drizzle of that on there. Now, I'm no master chef, unlike Nadia, but I think that looks pretty good. So we're going to have a wee pass around the office and we'll see what people's faces say, whether they tell the truth. Okay, so see you back for testing time. Okay, we're in the Eldernet test kitchen and here come my testers. So this is Hannah and we've got Kat and it looks like Julie's in the back there. So guys, just dig into it, I reckon.
I'm going to go first. Come on, Kat, you help me too. First.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's nice. Sauce, it's really nice.
What sort of sauce is it?
Tahini.
Delicious. Very well cooked. Yummy.
Okay, so now we've got Chris and Julie coming in for a taste test.
That's good.
Oh, shucks.
Isn't it? Yeah, saucy. Yummy.
So what's our score out of 10, crew?
Well, this has to be 10 out of 10. This is delicious.
It's a 10 out of 10 from Chris.
I'd say 10 out of 10 as well.
The rest of the crew's here.
That salmon's really, really good.
Cool.
That sauce
And a not a big dish. There's a lot of food there.
Yeah. So that's our first My Food Bag and top results. I'm going to go and try some now. Bye.